In this video, I'm going to demonstrate a technique using the Loft feature. And in this, the Loft button is located in the 3D model ribbon in the Create section. And if you look at this part here, this is basically it's a sketch of a square in one plane, and then the sketch of a circle in another plane, and then there's this solid material that has been added in between them. The the way that you add this solid material in between those two sketches is using the Loft feature. So let's go ahead and start a new part that we can use for this demonstration. And I'm going to work in the metric system. Let's see, and let's say create a new sketch. XY plane, and let's grab a circle to start with. And I'm going to center my circle on the origin and make it 20 millimeters here. Okay, and um, let's see. What I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and finish this sketch. So you see that I have a just this one circle in this sketch here. Now, in order to duplicate this part that I showed you here, what I'll do is grab a work plane, and I'm going to use the offset work from plane feature, and I'm going to offset it from the XY plane, the same plane I started with. You do not have to, in order to use the loft feature, the planes do not have to be parallel. So I could have offset it in any one of the other two planes, but just for demonstration purposes, I'll use a parallel offset plane. So let's offset this to 25. So, well, actually, you can see that this plane is above the original XY plane, or I can go below. Like I said, I'll go with 25. All right. And let's turn on the visibility of the XY plane. So it's easier. Now let's look at this. See what I got. All right. So you can see, okay, here's my original sketch here, and in the original XY plane, have this one that's sitting, I guess say above it, 25 millimeters. So let's start a new sketch in our offset work plane. So hover around the corner of the work plane until you see the yellow circle, left click, and then this icon here is create a new sketch. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rectangle 2-point center. And when I choose this, the first thing I need to do is establish where's the center of my rectangle going to be. It's going to be at the origin. And instead of placing the rectangle and going back and using the dimension tool, see it at the top. I guess the length, if you will, is already highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and type in 8 and hit tab. And now I can type in the width, which is also going to be 8. And so now I have an 8 by 8 millimeter square in my offset work plane. Okay, finish sketch. So now I have these two sketches here, and they're in different planes. And if I want to add material, solid material in between them, now I'm going to use the Loft feature. So the first thing I need to do is select, I'll select this section here. And so as I hover my mouse across the edge of it, it selects that region for the square. And notice that it places it here. That was my, sketch number 2. And then the next I'll select this sketch. Okay? So you can see the preview that is adding material in between these sketches here. Okay? Go ahead and select OK. And let's turn off these work planes, the visibility, and here, and here. So there you have it. And like I said, you can, I could have offset this work plane in the YZ plane or the XZ plane, but basically any two sketches, any two closed regions, if they're in separate, you have separate sketches, you can add material, solid material in between them by using this Loft feature.